Hey everybody, CW here, Card Wolf, because I am always on the hunt for great cards, and today it is Friday. That means Dorking with Dice is upon us. We do it here on the channel every Friday, and it is always a good time. I don't know how that works out, but I never fail to be entertained and have a good time opening these vintage packs. We've got 20 vintage packs in this box, and they are a mix of hockey and baseball packs. We got a big pink D20 to tell us which of these packs we get to open. We roll this up and we open the packs, and that's pretty much how it works. It's pretty simple and straightforward, but boy, is it a good time. Today I've got some extra good packs in the 1, 10, and 20 spot, as well as something great in the 17 spot. Some new packs in here that we have not seen before on the channel as well. Always try to mix in some new ones every week, so you never know what we might get into. All right, let's see what our first pack is going to be on today's episode of Dorking with Dice here on the Card Wolf Network. Looks like we got pack 14, so I know what pack 10 is. It's right there. So this is 11, 12, 13, and 14 is a very nice baseball pack. This is a great one. It is 1997 Fleer Ultra. Beautiful cards in this pack, and we can look for gold and platinum medallion parallels out of here, as well as baseball rules inserts, which were only in retail packs. This is a retail pack, plus all kinds of other very nice inserts. This is a great pack, and I just put this one in this morning, so I am delighted that we pulled it. I always hope that we get into the new stuff and get to see that, and we're starting out strong today, that is for sure. Once again, Fleer Ultra 1997. We start off with Tony Batista from the A's. Beautiful full bleed cards, great photos, and glossy lettering, as you can see there. The photos on the back are different than those on the front, which I always appreciate and give the card companies high marks for when they do that. We got Jeff Cirillo behind him from the Brewers, and Wilson Alvarez, really good pitcher for the White Sox for a little while back in those days. Roberto Alomar from the Orioles. It looks like he's about to be hit in the eye by his neck chain there. I never think it's a good idea for athletes to wear necklaces, but a lot of them do it, and I feel like you're risking a lot by making some sort of a statement with those. I don't know. Jeff Schmidt there, longtime pitcher in the MLB, and Alan Watson, who I don't really remember Alan Watson, I got to admit. We got Fernando Valenzuela towards the end of his career there with the Padres. That is a pretty cool card. And we get it in focus, you can enjoy it too. There you go. Pretty nice card. A little bit of ink loss on that card, weirdly. None of these are bricked, but oh no, I don't know if that is ink loss. We might just have some residue there, but very cool Fernando card. I'm going to put that in the Wolfler. I've never seen that card before. Todd Stottlemyre there, taking it easy, hanging around the batting cage before the game starts and the fans come in. He looks dazed. Looks like he's looking up at the sky. We get a checklist, because it is not Dorking with Dice unless we get a checklist. So I'm glad that one's out of the way. But hey, check that out. It is a Cal Ripken Jr. checklist with some weird ink loss. These are not bricked at all, but we definitely have some kind of manufacturing issues going on with the printing of these cards, unfortunately. That's a nice Ripken. Disappointed to see that lost a little ink there. I certainly like that one a lot. And Fernando Vina, it's a gold medallion edition of this card. Brewer's second baseman from back in the day. I don't think he lasted very long in the league, just maybe 5 years or so. But pretty neat to get a gold medallion edition of that one. So there you go. I'm gonna leave Todd Stottlemyre on top, gazing wistfully up at the sky or the stands. I don't know what he's looking at. So pack 14 starts us off. Let's see what our second pack is going to be on Dorking with Dice today. See what we get here, bouncing this around a little bit. We get 16. There is pack 16. I thought we were going to get 10 for a minute there, but it settled on 16. That was 14. So here's 15, and 16 is another baseball pack. It is a classic pack from the era. We've opened this one many times. You have the Diamond King offer on the back. This is a 1990 Donruss. You can spot it a mile away with that bright fluorescent orange, and features a Yastrzemski puzzle and lots of other great Hall of Famers. This one is really stuck. Usually these pop off a little easier than that. This one is on there pretty solidly. There's even, the wax is even sticking to the bottom card a little bit there, which does not always happen. Let's pop that over there. It looks like we won first prize on the official game there. They had a game on these wrappers and we won first prize, which appears to have been a t-shirt. Pretty sure I can't claim that anymore, unfortunately. So with the 1990 Donruss, you get the Yaz card. We get his face right there. That doesn't usually happen. Usually you get just a piece of an elbow or some kind of weird anatomy, but there we get his whole face. Put that there. Mark Thurmond, we start off with an Orioles player. Pretty nice to see that one. Of course, lots of error cards in 1990 Donruss. Many of you may know about those. Don Paul there from the White Sox. Diamond Kings card of Houston Astros pitcher Jim Deshea. It's kind of an unusual one to see. And Luis Quinones from the Reds. John Moses squaring up to bunt for Minnesota. Another Diamond Kings card. 2 out of this pack. Longtime catcher in the MLB. Brian Downing there playing for the Angels. He played for several teams, but I probably spent the longest amount of time with the California Angels. And another Diamond King right beside him, Tommy Herr, who played for quite a long time in the league, came up with the Cardinals and then went over to the Phillies and was a pretty reliable player, good player in the league, really good veteran presence to have. Ryan Sandberg All-Star card. That's a nice one to find in there. Average Joe will be delighted to see that. He's a big Cubs fan. We got Tim Jones, Bill Baith, who I do not remember. Apparently he caught for the Giants. Another all-star card here of Pedro Guerrero, the Dodgers player, who then went over to the Cardinals. And a good player, definitely a good player for many years. Bill Landrum there, pitching. And Clint Zavares, a pitcher for the Mariners, who I don't think lasted in the league for very long. Clint Zavares, there you go. That is his rookie card and perhaps his only card. I don't remember him at all. Mike Blowers, I do remember. And we finish off with Bo Jackson. That is a pretty strong finish, if ever there was. Nice Bo Jackson card there. 1990 All-Star Bo Jackson. Pretty darn sweet to see that. A lot of Diamond Kings in there and several All-Stars, including that Bo Jackson. That was a pretty hot pack, quite honestly. I'm kind of surprised how much good stuff we got out of there. I'll put Ryan Sandberg on top. We go to the big pink D20 once more. See if we can get a hockey pack out of here. There are 10 of each in the box. I do it that way, try to keep it even. So we are due a hockey pack. Let's see if we can get one. It is indeed pack 10. However, I believe that's another baseball pack, if I'm not mistaken. It is indeed, but it's a very, very good one. It is 1997 Fleer Metal Universe. These are some very unusual cards, super foily and super weird, quite honestly. Some really unusual things that go on with these cards. We will check these out. 8 cards in these retail packs and some inserts you can get out here. Definitely some very cool stuff. If you've never seen this product, you're in for a treat. Fleer Metal Universe from the 90s is unlike any other card. They're just beautiful, weird, cool cards. Let's see what we start with here. It's Bobby Bonilla, who appears to be catching the ball with a tornado hand. Yes, that is the kind of weird things you get on that. This is actually a very weird card. Aside from his tornado hand, he's wearing an Orioles uniform, yet it says Florida Marlins. What is even going on here? Just a tiny bit sticky there, but that's normal for these. They're pretty glossy. That's kind of interesting. I've never seen that before. I'm going to put that one in the wall flare. Here's a nice Dan Wilson card. It appears as though he's trying to catch missiles in the desert or something. I don't know what's happening there. Catcher for the Mariners. Behind him is Paul Wilson. We got 2 Wilsons in a row. That is surely a sign of something, and I am freaked out by it if we get another Wilson out of this pack. But instead we get Frank Thomas. That is an awesome pull. Beautiful Frank Thomas card as he bats away asteroids. That is a sensational card. I collect Frank Thomas, and I am thrilled to have gotten that one. You can see the back has a normal portrait of the player. That one is definitely for the Wolf Lair. Scott Sanders, who appears as though he's about to be taken by some huge claw, perhaps a spider. It looks like there's a spider web there, so some giant Aragog-type creature. Bernie Williams, nice card there, too. Wow, that is a sweet pull. These are some good packs today. There appear to be some weird creatures surfing in the background. I don't even know what is... If somebody can explain to me what is going on with that card, please do, because That one is truly perplexing. I have no idea what is happening there. Flip it over, and we got Darryl Kyle, longtime pitcher in the MLB. There he is. Looks as though his pitching arm has been frozen, though. So Darryl Kyle throwing, I don't know, ice balls or something? I don't know what's going on there. Kind of strange to see a Houston player playing in the ice. And then our last card out of this pack is Ed Sprague, who appears to have been fired out of some sort of green cannon there. These are quite strange cards, but really, really fun. I love these packs. I always enjoy putting these in whenever I happen to find one in my stash. I'll put Bernie Williams on top there. So 3 packs of baseball so far, and a nice pile of cards for the Wolf Lair already. Pretty happy about that Frank Thomas we just got out of there. And we pulled one of our big packs. That was pack 10. Let's see if we can get another of our big packs, or at least get a hockey pack out of here. That's ridiculous. Let's see what our 4th pack is going to be today. It is pack 9. Well, that's pretty easy because we just pulled 10. 9, I believe, is a hockey pack. It should be, and it is. And it's one that I was just talking about. We've never opened this on the channel before. It is 94-95 Series 1 OPC Premier. So lots of cool stuff out of here. You can get special effects cards, and I believe there are several other types of inserts you can get. It doesn't list them on the back, but I believe there are some other ones. These are really nice cards. If you've never seen 1994 OPC, you're in for a treat. These are quite nice. And we will get into this pack so you can see what I'm talking about. No bricking here, though these are also pretty glossy. We start off with a Cam Neely. I've been pulling Cam Neely cards out of hockey packs like it is the only player. It's like he's Kodai Senga or something. If you watch a channel, you know I used to pull Kodai Senga cards constantly, and then suddenly that stopped, and now we're pulling Cam Neely cards like we cannot seem to shake that. This is an all-star card of Cam Neely. I'll show you the back there. These cards have different photos on the back than the front on the base cards as well. Here is Rob Stauber, a base card goalie there for the Kings. As you can see, they're really nice cards. I like the foil on the name and the big colorful pictures. And then on the back you get an in-action shot, in this case of Stauber. And I don't know, I like the composition of these. They're really nice cards. Team of the Future, Felix Potvin. So this is when Felix was still a pretty young goalie. That's a nice card of Felix Potvin there. Like that one. We got Cale Johansson, another good player there, a defenseman there with the Caps. Rob Gaudreau and Wendell Clark, longtime NHLer there with the Leafs. Jeff Bukaboom, and we got Dmitry Mironov there for the Leafs as well. And another, we get double Bukaboomed, which, you know, I've had that happen to me before, and it's left me reeling for days. We get a double Bukaboom here. I got to tell you, that's not something that you want to tell anybody in your family that's happened to you. Thomas Sandstrom there, and Richard Smilik. I don't remember him, I got to tell you. Sylvain Turgeon, I remember him. Looks like he's playing his hockey stick as a guitar or something. Very good player there with the Senators. Andrei Kolvenko, and we got Jason Bowen finishing things off there for the Flyers. Pretty weird pack, I gotta say. Nothing out of there that I'm going to stash in the Wolf Lair. I'm going to put the Felix Potvin card on top and put those over on the hockey side of things. Now, one more pack I think we're going to open today, and hopefully we'll hit another hockey. I feel like I like to keep things sort of even there, but you never know what the big pink D20 is going to do. What's it going to do for our last pack? It is number 18, so that one's easy to find. There's 20, 19, and 18, which I think is another baseball pack. Yes, it is. It is Pinnacle Baseball. Beautiful cards from 1992. Pinnacle Baseball there with Kirby Puckett on the front of this pack. Beautiful cards for sure, and you can find all kinds of interesting subsets and parallels and all kinds of good stuff out of these. So let's see what we come up with today. These are slightly sticky, but not too bad. We start off with a rookie prospect card, as is often the case in 92 Pinnacle. You get a couple of these per pack usually. Mo Sanford there, who pitched for a short time for the Reds. Gary Scott, another rookie prospect there for the Cubs. And then we get an Idols card. That's pretty nice, actually. This looks like a Royals player, and I cannot guess who either of these players are. Do you have a guess? I really actually cannot place either one of them. This could be Dale Murphy during his short stint with the Phillies, I guess, but I don't know who the player is in the foreground. It's Dale Murphy. I got that right. And Wally Joyner. That's really interesting. Wally Joyner, of course, Rookie of the Year when he came up with the Angels, and there he is with the Royals later in his career. Did not know that Dale Murphy was his idol. Very interesting card. John Farrell there, that's a first-round draft pick of that player. And Darryl Kyle, for a moment there, I thought we had a Nolan Ryan card, but instead it is Darryl Kyle, who I think we pulled out of maybe that Donruss pack. I think had a Darryl Kyle in it. We got Pascual Perez, good pitcher for the Yankees for quite a while, and Frank Tanana, who came up with the Angels and was an ace for several years. Finished out his career, I believe, with the Tigers, were his last team. He kind of moved around a little bit towards the end. Bud Black came up with the Pirates, and there he is with the Giants. And Skeeter Barnes with the very, very wide stance. Skeeter Barnes from one end of the batter's box to the other with that split. Andre Dawson, the Hawk. There we have a Hall of Famer. Nice card there of Andre Dawson. Show you the back of these portrait shots of the players. Put that one in the wolf there. Jose Canseco, of course, for the A's. And Greg Maddux, another Cubs great. Wow, two really excellent Cubs players here. Greg Maddux looking dorky back there. Greg Maddux, of course, went over and got probably most of his fame while playing for the Atlanta Braves, but he came up with the Cubs. Darryl Strawberry, of course, came up with the Mets and then played for the Yankees and the Dodgers. Jack Clark, Giants player, came up in the late 70s and was thought of as kind of a phenom, a guy who was going to be a superstar in the league, and he certainly did last in the league for a long time, played with several different teams. I think this might be one of his last cards. I think he did finish out his career with the Red Sox. Dave Justice, a great Braves player, not in the Hall of Fame. A lot of people thought he would probably go there, but his career didn't quite turn out the way that people thought it would. And Lance Parrish, really good, underrated catcher from back in the day. He was a really good catcher in the early 80s or so. And there he is with the Angels. So next pack, there, I got some really nice Cubs cards out of that one. And always nice to see players from that era. A lot of good players out of that pack. So, wow, baseball really trounced hockey today. We got 4 baseball packs, including the number 10 pack, which was a beauty, that Topps, or rather Fleer Metal Universe. That was a really nice one to pull. A couple of nice Fleer packs. We got the Fleer Ultra pack as well. And some great cards going into the Wolf Lair. These 2 Cubs cards will probably go to Joe because he is a big Cubs fan. And then we got a beautiful Frank Thomas card. Love that one. And a weird Bobby Bonilla card. I like that one just because it's so strange. Bo Jackson and Ripken, and then that unusual Fernando Valenzuela card with the Padres, which I do not remember him ever pitching for them, but clearly he did. Very interesting stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I had a great time opening these with you. And I hope you have a good weekend planned, whatever you have in store. I hope it's enjoyable and relaxing. Should be warm throughout most of the country this weekend, like summer is here already. So get out and enjoy yourselves. I'll see you back here on Monday for a mail day. I have a package here from one of you awesome people that I cannot wait to open. We'll do that on Monday. In the meantime, have a great weekend. And as always, happy collecting.